Sup flappers, welcome back to another video, and boy oh boy, where do I even start with this one? Yes, this video is going to be going over Itto, everything that personally I have experienced with him, everything that I do think I had concerns regarding him, as well as some things that just completely blew me away with this character. Yes, it's going to be mostly a positive video, but as it is an erotic walrus video, I do want to focus on some things that people should be looking out for as they're potentially getting into this unit. I'm sure you guys are very well aware of how popular this character has been since his initial tease up until his hype phase, where people don't really know what's up about him, but they're just excited. And now he's finally out, he's been played, people are making content about him, you guys are actually seeing how cracked of a character this is. Yes, I can attest to that. If you guys truly come here for my personal sense and my input, yes, he is a phenomenal character. He is fluid, he is powerful, he is flexible in many ways, and hey, at the end of the day, he's just a great character. All right, I do think he's gonna be the top 3 Inazuma character by the time we do end up leaving Inazuma, possibly even gunning for that top 1 position. Depending on what type of player you are, you might actually think this is going to be the best Inazuma character release to date, and that's including Kazuha. Now, that's a lot of praise for Itto, but here's the thing, right? Let's go into his kit. What makes this character so great? Now, first and foremost, if you guys have been watching my content, you do know I do not prefer Claymore characters, as I just feel like they're too slow and they're too hunky. They just don't feel fluid comparative to spear or sword users, and that is a personal preference. Now, from the get-go, allow me to get this out of the way. Itto does not feel hunky. He does not feel slow, nor does he feel like a Claymore character. I do think miHoYo is definitely going down the right track with this one, because taking a Claymore character and a Geo character, he hits hard per hit. He has a 4-hit attack string, which is very straightforward, but at the same time, there's a lot of nuance to it too. When you are using his attack string, using his elemental skill will temporarily stop the attack chain, but at the same time, you are able to continue that attack chain from where you left off, as long as there's not a huge gap in between. Now, this is amazing, because for characters that have these short attack strings, their hardest hits are usually towards the end, and of course it's the same case for Itto, and allowing you to continue that attack string, albeit that attack string is not that long to begin with, it just makes this character feel miles better, as if you were to be on his 3rd hit and then you use your elemental skill, then you're starting back from the 1st hit. It does lose out on quite a bit of damage. I know this kind of stuff, people don't talk about it a lot, which is very interesting to me, but this trick also works when you dash with Itto in between his attacks. Now, this just makes this character even better. It shows the flexibility in his attack strings, and this is when I say there is nuance to this character. It's not as straightforward as just spam your left click key and eventually just hold it down for charge attack. Even during his charge attack modes, he is still a flexible character, allowing you to redirect where you are hitting, and it's not locking you into a certain direction. Sometimes I know the physics mechanics in these type of games be like, oh well, he's holding a heavy greatsword, so he can only sway in this direction, and it's going to be really hard to redirect him because of freaking physics BS. But no, Itto feels great during his heavy attack, charge attack, whatever you want to call it, these animations, you're still able to redirect him to face your opponents, even if you overcharge, or even if you're facing kind of off center to the big mob groups. Now, overall, this character has single target, he has AoE damage, and he has a bulky kit. All right, now talking about some of the concerns I had regarding this character, most of them have been addressed. Now, one of the first one is that he's just going to be a brainless left click smashing spamming character. While in essence, yes, he's very spammy in that most of his skills are very simplistic and they're on quick cooldowns. As I've mentioned previously, he's not a simple character. If you want to main Itto, if you are already a dedicated Itto main, trust me, you have your work cut out ahead of you. As the saying always goes, practice makes perfect. This character may seem simple and straightforward on the surface, and I'm sure a lot of people, maybe the future Itto haters, would just say like, oh, he's so easy, he's so boring, just spam attack, like they did say for Kaching. But it's just people who don't like to play these kind of characters. They will never understand the nuances that comes with different attack strings and the tiniest of micromanaging attack rotations. It's fine, right? If you enjoy it, you will definitely love this character. So now let's move on to Itto's Constellations. Now, boy, oh boy, here's the thing, right? Yes, Itto can be played as a standalone carry, but as you get some of his Constellations, especially C2, you really want to be playing him in mono geo teams. It's pretty obvious that miHoYo is pushing him into a mono geo team scenario, but rejoice, if you are playing Itto as C0, you're essentially not losing out on much damage comparatively to C1, C2. Now, yes, if you're comparing him to C6, of course you're losing out on a huge chunk of damage, but hey, it's good to know that a character like Itto functions perfectly fine at C0 with his damage all intact, with his kit all intact, with his utility all intact. There is no gimmick here. It's not like Hu Tao where you gotta get a C1 to, hey, to not waste all your stamina using charge attacks. No, Itto actually is all built in. He's a full unit right now. C1, C2 gives him great utility. C4, C6 does give a little more damage and just stat boosting, of course. But hey, free to plays, low spenders, just know, get C0. You can even build the White Blind, which is a free craftable weapon. Get that to R5. You will be beyond the moon with this character. I guarantee you. Now, yes, I'm very excited for this character. I love this character, and I think that he is probably the best greatsword character released to date. Yes, I do think he even outperforms Eula when it comes to fluidity, playstyle, and my personal preference. You guys can definitely try him out in the testing arenas to see if he fits your playstyle. Now, going forward, also, regarding his team builds. Now, this is the thing that I feel a lot of people might be still on the fence about, because not everybody has Zhongli, not everybody has Albedo. How well does Itto perform on non-mono geo teams, or like triple geo teams, in fact? And the good news is that while Itto certainly can benefit greatly from Albedo's damage support, as well as Zhongli's shield for all resistance shred, he functions fine in just a double geo team with Goro. Goro's defense scaling buffs can seriously help Itto out to the point where I would say he doesn't need excessive damage funneling. Now, that is probably the best news I could give you guys in this scenario, because if you want Itto, as long as you pull on his banner, get a couple constellations of Goro, you're going to be able to play him with Goro. And yes, Goro doesn't always have to be a healer in this case, because as long as you're not playing him and Goro in a triple or mono geo team, Itto can stay as the main DPS, whereas Goro can be a support or a buffer, just a standalone buffer, and you can bring yourself a healer if you so wish to. You don't need to use Goro, get him to C4 to use him as a dedicated healer. Now, this is such a great thing miHoYo has done for us here, meaning that Itto now is not only a powerful standalone unit, but also a great niche unit playing as well, being able to fit into triple mono geo teams along with staying as a single alone carry. Now, I know, it's a lot of praise for Itto. There are people going to be like, but Walrus, I watch you because I want to hear about the things that other people aren't willing to say. What is it about Itto that stops him maybe from being the best that ever was? Now, here is the thing. Defense scaling units are still far and few in between, and it's still just the beginning of miHoYo's probably grand scheme of building more casts of characters that you can play with Itto. Currently, he's going to be the main DPS, Albedo is going to be the support DPS, and if you have C4 Goro, you can have a great buffer and healer for your team. If you don't have C4 Goro, well, tough luck, you're probably going to be stuck playing with different variations that of double geo teams, which, like I said, is fine, but trust me, you're not unlocking Itto's full potential unless you have C4 Goro, and probably playing him in a triple geo team. I know that for characters to be great, you don't have to push them to their limits, but just know that when you're pulling for Itto, understand what you're getting yourself into. It is going to be a new direction of damage carries, defense scaling, right? We had Hu Tao, HP scaling, this is Itto with defense scaling, but right now, there just doesn't exist a roster of characters that's easily accessible for free-to-play players or low spenders that can bring Itto to his full potential. Now, of course, yeah, if you have Albedo, you have Zhongli, you have Itto, you have Goro, you're gonna have a great time with Itto in general. Maybe even Constellation 1 Itto, Constellation 2 Itto, running a quadruple like a mono geo team, right? That's going to be superb. But for the low spender free to plays, you're definitely gonna be struggling a little bit, especially for people who can't get Goro to C4. This is still a weakness in my eyes. Now, does that mean it's not going to exist in the future? Of course not. I do think miHoYo is starting to flesh out all of these characters that are scaling with different stats. So to end this on a positive note, just know that if you're getting Itto, you're likely gonna get one Goro at least, right? Like a C0 Goro at the very minimum, because if you can't even get yourself a C0 Goro, it's going to be difficult, especially if you don't have Albedo, you don't have Zhongli, then you're gonna end up pairing him with the GOMC, which we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. It works, right? You can honestly run him with GOMC, run him with Noelle in the healer position as well. You know, that's still a triple Geo team, but the efficiency just goes way down from there. Yes, he does require some of the more niche units that currently exist in the game, with exceptions to Zhongli. So to end the video on a positive note, understand Itto is a great unit overall. I'm going to be releasing a video talking about his team building options, and I'm going to include tons of teams that are non-geo-centric teams to show you guys that yes, this character can indeed be played in non-geo specific teams and still perform very, very well. With that said, make sure to like, subscribe. If you've reached this point in the video, thank you so very much. You guys know how much I love you guys, and just comment down below chair leg. Yes, chair leg. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to. Just comment that below. You can confuse some of the people. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are having fun in Genshin. I've been having a blast with Itto, going through farming his materials and suffering through the artifact domain. I'll be live streaming later today, doing some account reviews, talking more about Itto, showcasing just how powerful this character is. And with that said, hope to see you guys later on stream. Till then, stay safe. Peace. Bye.